I launched an apparel collection, and it's available now. Hey everyone, it's Barry. I've been working really hard over the past couple of months on a collection of illustrations for t-shirts, hoodies, and more. But what I want to talk about in today's video is how I went from my idea to the final garment. It started with a doodle in my sketchbook. A few doodles, actually. I want to get as many ideas out of my mind and onto paper as possible. All of these sketches actually became garment designs, but let's pick one to work on today. I like this one. The inspiration behind this particular pose is a bit open-ended. Since it's for shirt designs, I want people to be able to read into it the way they would like to read into it. It can be anything from wearing your heart on your sleeve, to tugging at your heartstrings, or just anything that speaks to you personally. Hopping over to Clip Studio Paint, I'm using its new time-lapse feature to export a sweet little speed paint for you. This illustration was done live over on my Twitch channel, where I paint live and answer questions about my process and the tools that I'm using. I stream on Wednesday and Thursday mornings. Check the link in the description to see when I stream in your time zone. I'm using the vector brush tools for the line art, which I talked about in this recent video on Clip Studio Paint tools that you should know. And all of the brushes that I used in this illustration, from the marker blending brush to the hair highlight brush, I talked about in that video too. I picked a few color swatches to use for the skin, hair, and heart, which I wanted to make the heart look like glass, so I used a lot of different reflecting blues, greens, and pinks. Her pink skin I based off of a lighting reference you can see in the upper left corner from a photo that I found on Pinterest. I always like to have a reference or two handy to get the mood right. You can see a small color mock-up next to it. I tend to color in a smaller version of my sketch before I color in the large final version, just to get an idea of what colors that I want to use. Going in with a plan ensures you don't waste time painting a bunch of colors that you don't end up liking. It's a lot easier to change colors when you're working digitally, but I still like to cut down on as much redoing things as I possibly can. After I was done the illustration, I cut out the heart, yikes, and saved that as its own image so that I can use it as the front decals on my hoodies. And so we have the design. But there's one more thing that I want to do. I've been really into retro wave looking stuff recently, so I wanted to turn this into a limited palette bitmap looking image. To do that, I imported the image into Affinity Photo and separated the colors using the monochrome dither effect. I got the brightness where I wanted it to be by tweaking the image with levels, and then I had to merge it with a black background layer. The monochrome dither effect then selects pixels of a certain lightness or higher and makes them white, which basically has the effect of turning the art into pixel art. I could then use the magic wand tool and delete the black parts, and then use a color overlay to tint the white pixels whatever color I wanted them to be. I did this a few times for a few different layers, and now I have this really cool retro wave version of my illustration. It looks great on my new t-shirt. This design and many more are now available in my store, so head over there and take a look. We've got short and long sleeved t-shirts, hoodies in 3 different styles, face masks, and an all-over print bomber jacket that I've honestly been living in lately. If you follow the link in the description, you can also get 15% off your first order. Isn't that sweet? If you haven't subscribed yet, I make art videos every Friday, so tap that little button for me so you don't miss a video. If you want to hear all about how I totally ditched Adobe Photoshop for the programs that I used in today's video, head over to this video here. Till next time, take care.